Okay. Couple other things. I
What else
played
you got?
Pizza Tower. Got around to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
you want to
I know.
talk about things that I hate on and
I
everybody
know. I
mad at?
know.
Here
And
we
that's
go
a
with Pizza
I
Tower.
know.
How do you
And
like Pizza Tower?
I love it. It's so good. It's so good. And
Good.
it's
The
it sucks.
podcast is saved because someone here likes Pizza Tower.
Like I like if the art style being the hurdle there is a bummer, because when I look at it I'm just like, man, that thing is landing, because it's trying to do, for me it's doing 90s cartoons, John Kay, Ren and Stimpy, Cow and Chicken, you
I
know.
hate everything you just said.
um and then it's also doing, for video games, it's doing a particular kind of animation that's like Booger Man. Remember Booger Man?
Yeah, it sucked.
Ah, no, like that is it's nailing it. I'm loving that. The bright like, again, MS Paint animation, that comes from it. And then obviously, like, that's just the aesthetic choices, which they're killing, by the way. Like, they're choosing to go into an aesthetic style and they're killing it.
I have to say, it's like even my personal distaste. I remember looking at it and going, they are absolutely perfectly embodying their exact desire. It just happens to be a picture that I don't want to look at.
But it's one thing. So we're talking about things that are reminiscent of other things so far, and
Yeah.
like, you want, and so Halls of Torment is like I said, it's like, it's good, doing their bit. Death Must Die, shallow. The comparison is not landing. It's not on that point. Fucking Pizza Tower is pointing at that shit and emulating it, but doing an incredible job on its own by, like, actually, like, being comparable to the things that it's the styles it's taking after.
Hmm.
In the ways that you appreciate how, like, Cuphead is not only homaging old animation, but it's as good as that animation,
Yeah.
in some cases better. And
Hmm.
like, that's the way you feel about it. So, just on that visual style. So then gameplay wise, it's Wario Land combined with Metroidvania, combined with uh yeah, like the like, just open level traversal speed running,
Hmm.
of like, a Super Meat Boy style traversal thing. And the character has enough moves in his arsenal to basically be a Smash Brothers character. So right off the bat, it just feels really good, because the art style is incredible, and then, like, you have so many things you can do, and it's asking you to just be fast, but
Hmm.
here's a full move list right away. And I super appreciate that. I love that, like, in the basic tutorial, here's your shoulder block, here's your shine spark, here's your grab into your pile driver if you're playing beat 'em up style grabs, if you're going
Hmm.
for an uppercut to shoryuken, like, all the different things you can do are like butt slam, a full ass move list. And then it's like, all right, here's some levels, go. You can walk into any one at any time on each floor that you go to. So it's just a video game, and in the purest sense of platforming and speedrunning, like, I appreciate it. I like that you go through it as a platformer, fighting and finding secrets and everything, and then on the way out it's just Metroid escape to the ship every time, you know
Hmm.
and while all that's happening, yeah, the characters that are you're running around in the overworld and doing shit are just, full of personality. The music is banging. The boss fights are a lot of fun. There's Mega Man like boss fights where you're one on one in the room, dodging the bullet patterns and trying to learn the intricacies, and then they hit phase 2 and shit gets crazier. You know, it's pure video games, man, undistilled, uncut. I
It's
really, I
probably the first time in a long time that I was playing it and was like, my emotional reaction to this is wrong. Like, am I out of touch or is it the children? And I'm like, I want to say it's the children, but no, I'm probably wrong.
Dude, like I was having this much fun before I even learned there was a parry. Like that came as ice cream after the meal. I was fully enjoying it, and then it's like, oh, by the way, the taunt button also acts as a frame perfect parry on shit coming in on you, and I'm like, oh, oh, what? It's so good without it, but you just did what? you know, like yeah, um, changing the way you approach the boss fight after that, or the way you approach enemies, because now I'm reminded of how love me some Sonic Rush. Love
Mm-hmm.
me some of the Sonic games where you're just blasting through the stage and like holding forward and then jumping, taking a left or a right, branching occasionally. But here you have some enemies that are like, oh, you got to stop and deal with that. And if you parry them right as you're about to impact, right as Sonic is about to hit that wall of spikes,
Mm-hmm.
if you could parry it and be like, no, actually, I'm gonna keep going, with a little taunt on top of it. So, it's grabbing the things I love at max speed. You're grabbing a little bit of Sonic Rush in there for me too, and I fucking adore all of those things. So, I from just that first session, I'm like, fucking, I get it. I uh my understanding too is like it's not very long, so I got up to the third floor. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's only a little bit beyond that, but clearly there's secrets and difficulty runs and challenges and perfect grade, ways to run back through some of those levels and shit. So um I'm also a sucker for characters that have transformations and modes. So obviously Mega Man and Kirby come to mind, but back then too, like the ability to have multiple. I remember like specifically loving how like your default character just got more than just a weapon. It was like a whole different change to the way they played. And for him getting the knight or getting the Mort the chicken mode and stuff is it just scratches that itch of like having different modes in a platformer that I also love as well. With each new level gimmick or so, might come a new way to play, and I just fucking I dig that shit. There's one power up that was like only for the one boss fight, and that was
Mm-hmm.
it. You fucking pick the gun up for the cowboy boss fight, and then the fight ends on a Samurai Kirby quick draw duel, and I'm just like, yeah, you know how much I love Samurai
I know.
Kirby.
I'm well aware.
Yeah,
Well aware
so
that you like the Kirby quick draw duel for its tap the button.
I have nothing but good things to say about how much fun I had on that game. Yeah, we'll see what else is going on. But I almost wonder if like the way his B button specials were set up, I'm like, are you kind of petitioning yourself for a Smash or a platform fighter? Like, are you kind of
That's
auditioning your
that's a
character?
ballsy claim. That
Because
is.
up B is an up B, down B is a butt stomp, left and right are a tackle, and then there's a grab neutral B attack. Like, it feels like it's baiting Nintendo or some other platform fighter to be like, hey guys, we got one for you here. It feels like it's baiting them, you know? Anyway, though, really, really, really good.
I really
Um,
wish I liked Pizza Tower.
Maybe there'll be a mod that can like change all the graphics.
No, no, that's so. You know what? It's not the graphics is like whatever. I could get over that. It's I mean, you mentioned like it reminds you of like Sonic Rush, like going absolute top
Yeah.
speed in a Sonic game. Like one of the things that like I become outed as like a complete freak every time we talk about it. It's like I hate like the fucking max speed pads in Sonic games. Like every Sonic game that came out, which is look,
What?
the rush pads just make you go super fast through an automatic stage like it sucks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's why I like Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Like I
Oh,
like the way Sonic
man.
feels and I like doing spin dashes to go fast when I need to, and the feel of the platforming. I don't like
I
hitting a bounce pad and then watching like an automatic loop to loop that I have no control over. So when I get to Pizza Tower and people are like, "Look, it's fast like the Sonic games," and I'm like, "Oh, goody."
no, I don't know, man. That's the
We've
complete
had this
opposite for me.
conversation, and
Yeah,
every time we have it, you look at
yeah.
me like I'm
No,
grew a
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
goat
yeah.
out of my neck.
Because I love going fast, and then I love like there's a point where you're like, okay, if the whole thing is just playing itself, that's pointless. But I like going from fast into controlling the speed afterwards, and then having a sequence or a room or area, and then going again. You know, I like the interplay of like rhythm up into control, rhythm up into control, and when you're doing it like perfectly, it looks like you're basically stopping to do the cool thing and you keep it moving, you know.
Like if anybody a while ago before I played Sonic Mania, I played through Sonic 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles, and like I played through those games weird in that I played through them slow. In that like the timer in a Sonic stage is a threat to me. Because I will die.
Yeah, I just I love the feeling of going fast and then, you know, coming out of that and doing the obstacle. I also think about how I mean, having the freedom is always certainly optimal, but think about like the way I'm playing Rocket Knight Adventures, right? Sparkster, like fucking boosting through those levels, taking out enemies, stopping, and then boosting on again, boosting upwards. You know, like the ability to just rock to constantly get that charge going.
I need to stop you. We're gonna have a polite version of this conversation. What game are you talking about right now?
I am talking about the Super Nintendo game Sparkster.
Okay. Because every single time we talk about this, you go, Rocket Knight Adventures, Sparkster. And like, those are two completely different games that feel different. Because what you're describing isn't what Rocket Knight Adventures is like. Rocket Knight Adventures is slow.
Okay.
And you use the boost as a jump.
Okay. So
it's way better.
Okay. So I love the ability to have that much momentum at your disposal. So like I'm always a fan of being able to do that. And of course, it's been a solid decade of me going off about how much I love shine sparking in Super Metroid as well. So like I just I love that sense of speed, you know. That it's what I'm looking for. It's certainly a thing that gets me.
So
happy
yeah,
when I
like
see
what would happen when I play Pizza Tower is I would play it like a Sonic game because people told me it's like a Sonic game. Also, it's obviously like Wario Land, but I don't have any, I don't have any history with that. So I would run through an area, but as soon as I got to any branch, I would like jump around and try and find secrets. And like levels were taking me like tens of minutes because I was trying to find all the secrets in the stages before moving on. Where chat was going, no, go fast. I'm like, no, I want to find the collectibles.
Yeah. Okay. It's yeah. Again, we have had multiple versions of this, but as a result here, that like this is why I'm happy the moment you do that shoulder tackle into fucking you know, and then you grab something and then you SPD it on top of something else and it bounces off, you know, and then you can fuck with your momentum. All of that, crawling up walls, etc. One thing I was worried about was like hitting a wall point blank and then like sometimes not being able to pick the momentum back up. And it was like, actually you just got to like jump and grab the wall. And it's like, oh shit, solves the problem. You just got to learn the tech for the input, you know? Yeah. So
I see people in the chat mentioning it, but I will reiterate that Celeste is an attack on the mentally ill. It is an aggressive strike.
Despite being one of the most comforting games that is approaching accessibility as a priority.
Oh yeah? Is it? Is it?
That was the impression I got.
Is that why they put something in the game that makes a percentage of people just lose their minds? Is that why they did that?
You're the first
They
one
said,
I've
"Hey,
heard.
oh
You're the
man,
first
this is gonna be
one.
so good when somebody with OCD just shits their ass and has an anxiety attack over this thing we sprinkled everywhere."
You're the only one I've
That's
encountered
not
this
true.
with.
Look.
Okay. Well,
I'm the only one who's had the courage to stand up and say it that you've encountered.
God. All right.